Hey, 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 Uncle Mark in the mothership with a fretless 3-string cigar box guitar. Yeah, 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 this is the Monster Mash for fretless, although I do have fret markers. I just don't have them on the body of the guitar, and I'm playing this wonderful Uncle Mark fretless. So let me show you a little bit of what I'm going to do, and then we'll break this song down. It's just a fabulous song in open G. And here we go. I was working in the lab late last night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. The monster on my slab began to rise. Suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash, the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, he did the mash. You know it came on in a flash, the monster mash. Right, super fun to play on the fretless, and it's just a wonderful song. I do have a lesson for fretted, so please look at that. There are some little hints here and there and little things here and there that I go over a little bit in more detail. This is more a down and dirty, throw it right at you type of lesson. So what do we got? G, D, G, 42, 34, 24. Those are my gauges. They're wound electric guitar strings. And I'm playing through a Roland Minicube, and I'll show you those settings at the end of the video. Like I said, this is my fretless guitar, but it does have frets. So at the nut right here, it's open G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, right here above that dot. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see it. There's C, C sharp, and D. D is another important chord in this song. So open, and then C, and then D, and E. And that's really all you have to worry about. But it's nice to know that the G is also up here, and the C and the D are up here as well. So if you wanted to go from C up to C or D up to D, you could certainly do that. And so what I do with this song is I just play it in open. I was working in the lab late one night, going up to the E, when my eyes beheld eerie sight. I'm coming up to the C. My monster from the slab began to rise. Come up to the D. Suddenly, to my surprise, they did the mash. They did the monster mash. Coming up to E. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. Coming up to C. Come on in a flash. Come up onto D. That's how I play this. But I like giving us this little rock and roll rhythm, and that means putting your finger fretting the fretless right here. On that second fret, that note right there is an E. So find it on your fret and be right on it. And that's a really fun way to play a little rock and roll, because you can't really do that in the rest of the song, but in that instant right there, you can turn this into a rock and roll song. And I also like this downward progression where I'm going. And so what that is I'm going here from D to C to B to A, open. And I'm just going to slide down. And I do it in the context of when I get to D, the mash, the monster mash, the monster mash. And it just adds a little punch to what can be a very easy rhythm. And I like doing a double hit. But you could certainly go. But I do like the doubles. A couple of things I do like to do is I like a picking pattern. So I like coming back. So I like going to that high G, the D string, and the other G string. Strum the chord, and then back pick. I really like that. Something else, you have this high G, so you could certainly so that's something you can incorporate into this tune. You also have this high C and this high D. So if you wanted, you could high C. So you can do a lot of things with this song. Play it, certainly strum it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crank up my volume, and that's going to hit the amp a little bit. You know, having this volume knob nice and close to my pinky here is really, really fun because I can leave it down a little bit and crank it up. I turn it back a little bit, hit it hard, come back off a little bit. I like having that ability to hit that. In my other lesson, that's basically the lesson within the lesson. I always try to put a lesson within the lesson. And using this volume knob, you should never have it cranked out all the way. I mean, unless that's what you want. Keep it turned up, and then come back about a third. That way you're hitting the amp with some punch, but you always have a little bit more you can give it if you feel like it. And get used to what it feels like to turn that knob with your pinky, right? I always keep my tone pretty much dimed, but you could have that off a touch too. And get used to what it feels like. And the distance that you have to turn it, and it really, really helps your playing. You'll become a much more dynamic player, being able to use this volume knob here, and hitting that amplifier at certain times within your song. So, you know, it's nice to have it here. See where my hand is? So for you builders out there, remember, it's, you know, putting it up here doesn't help anybody. So it's nice to have it within your hand's reach. And so that's how I think of it. So you can see right there. You can hear it just kick a little bit. Robinson kick. And I really like that. This is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. Please see my other video, because that'll show you more of exactly what this song is and how it breaks down, and the 1 6 4 5. Look at that, because that's what this song is. G being the 1, the 6 being the E or E minor, which it really is, and the C being the 4, and the D being the 5. So it is a 1 6 4 5 song. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. We do have t-shirts, and see the links down below. Thank you, really, thank you for all your donations. I really, really appreciate it. It helps keep the heat on. We now have to keep the heat on in the mothership. Things like that, it really, really helps. And I do have a couple of donation links down below. One is a PayPal, which you're familiar with. One is Square, and it's fairly new. And so they're both safe and secure, and I thank you so much for everything you do. And Buck a show is all we ask, and I told you I'd show you my settings. So these are my settings here. And I am on that Brit combo. My gain is at about 3/4, and I've got a little bit of reverb. My tone is just about half. So that's unusual for me. I wanted a little bit more bass with this song, but that's a personal preference. Everybody has their different preferences on how they like what they have. So and whether you put your slide on any finger really doesn't matter, except to you. You're the one that decides these things. So thank you so much for everything you do for me, and we'll see you again soon.